Mirchi FM is #1 in Singapore.
और किसके सुनिए यार, हमारा एक सच्चा साथी है मिर्ची एफएम लंबा साथी.
I love Mirchi FM. It's so hot.
देखे में लाल लाल, खाए में हाय हाय. Tangi taupo में Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singatoka, love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva.
It's hot.
हम इंग्लिश लंबासा में रहता है, तो क्या बताइए हम मिर्ची एफएम सुनता है.
Mirchi FM, बहुत जुलूम जुलूम.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Tonight, Ministerial Contact Group begins talks in Fiji. Australian Foreign Minister commits to normalising relations. And Bainimarama inspects his last military passing out parade. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. The Pacific Island Foreign Ministerial Contact Group arrived in Fiji this morning. Coincidentally, Foreign Minister Ratuinoke Kumbombola was on the same flight as his New Zealand counterpart Murray McCulley and the rest of the delegation. They held brief discussions with Ratuinoke at Nausori Airport before being whisked away to Suva. Australian Foreign Minister Julie Bishop arrived on a separate flight some hours later and was met by Ratuinoke. By 1 p.m, the contact group was at the Pacific Island Forum holding meetings with various stakeholders. The group is mandated by the Pacific Island Forum to continue dialogue and engage with Fiji, including support for her return to parliamentary democracy. Late this afternoon, the group met with Attorney General Aisaid Qayyum. Meanwhile, Australian Foreign Minister Julie Bishop hasn't given any clear answers on when travel sanctions against members of the Bainimarama government will be lifted. Before leaving for Fiji, Bishop spoke to ABC in Australia, saying the issue will be discussed with Fijian leaders over the next 2 days.
Our travel sanctions on figures in the Fijian regime are under review. I have had very productive discussions with Foreign Minister Kumbombola about this, and I expect to have discussions this weekend about that as well, but they are under review.
She's also hoping that international media will be allowed into Fiji to report on the upcoming elections.
The presence of the international media will give legitimacy to the elections held in Fiji. On my visit this weekend, I have invited a couple of members of the Australian media to accompany me, and Fiji has agreed. In fact, your ABC correspondent from New Zealand will be coming with us. I think that's a very positive sign.
Sean Dorney?
No, not Sean Dorney. It's
and not
Dominic,
for the elections?
Dominic Schwartz. No, they're coming with me this weekend.
And what about for the elections? Could Sean be in?
Clearly that's a matter I will raise with the Fijian authorities.
The Foreign Contact Group returns tomorrow. With just 14 days to go before stepping down as head of the military, Commander Vorenge Bainimarama has assured his successor will not change the course the military has charted in building a better Fiji. The commander made the bold statement at the passing out parade of more than 200 new soldiers at the force training ground in Asino outside Suva today.
Commodore Vorenge Bainimarama told these new soldiers the military has intensified its service to the nation since 2006 by making it a modern and progressive state.
We stand shoulder to shoulder with every citizen, no matter who they are. We will fight corruption at every turn. We will always stand for the very best Fijian quality of caring for our fellow citizens.
This is Commodore Vorenge Bainimarama's last review of the new recruits before he steps down on the 28th of this month.
Passing out parade is a special occasion for me. The last time I will officiate such a parade as Commander of the RFMS. It is a job that I've held for the last 15 years. It is a job I've come to love and will treasure for the rest of my life.
Having served in the military for the last 39 years, Bainimarama told these young men of the need for camaraderie in the force, something he learned when given the privilege to lead and serve the country's defense force.
We need to depend on each other, to trust each other, to work together as a team no matter what circumstances we find ourselves in. I urge you all to look after one another, be loyal to each other, and above all, be loyal to the RFMF and the great nation you serve.
The outgoing commander has stressed that the RFMF can only tackle the challenges that lies ahead if those who are charged leading it are united and unwavering in their resolve to succeed.
Live by these values yourself and be steadfast in defending them. Pass them on to the generations to come. If you live by these principles of putting Fiji first, you will never go wrong.
Bainimarama added the new constitution embodies the vision and values of the RFMF in building a new and better Fiji for all, and says that soldiers must be firm and steadfast. Mikolonga, FBC News.
The Elections Office has begun registering Fijians living in Australia for the 2014 general elections. Every Fijian over the age of 18 in Australia is being encouraged to come forward and is required to produce a valid Fijian passport. The first registrations took place in Sydney today at the Canterbury Fijian Parish Church. 5 teams will be registering Fijian voters in New South Wales, Victoria and Queensland until February 22nd. Teams will also travel to the west coast of North America and to Britain. Coming up, a world's first by FBCTV.
Golnga elambasa Mbula FM number 2 na sere.
Ndo tali tak na borong na Mbula FM number 2 na sere su.
Kau buat itu geraki au rewet juga ni stima au ndo tali tak na borong na Mbula.
Kalau bina Fiji Mbula FM number 2 esenga toka.
Mbula bina era roga Mbula FM number 2 tikoga.
Mbula FM number 2 na sere.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. The Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama has sent out a stern warning to all men in the country. Apisolome Dokar reports Bainimarama has had enough and wants no more cases of violence against women.
The government is serious. It will take down all those who commit violence against women.
What I'm about to tell you is a national disgrace and something that should shame every Fijian. Because I've just been given some very alarming figures about the level of sexual assault in Fiji. It is shocking and it cannot be allowed to continue. Before our courts at the present time are 739 cases of sexual assault.
Vorenge Bainimarama says the Fiji police force has been directed to deal firmly with sex offenders.
We in Fiji knew the problem was bad, but not this bad. And it has to stop. The days of any lenient attitude to raping, demeaning, mistreating, and exploiting women are over. I'm issuing instructions to the police that they are to adopt a policy of zero tolerance of all violence against women. Leaving aside these appalling statistics on sexual assault, if anyone hits or mistreats a woman in any way, they had better watch out.
Bainimarama says Fiji cannot push for equal opportunity for everyone and build a new and better Fiji if we tolerate the abuse of our women.
We can't keep talking about equal opportunity for everyone and a new and better Fiji if we tolerate our women being abused. Every woman and girl deserves to feel safe, to be respected, to be protected.
The Prime Minister has indicated that those who continue to offend and target women and children will be shown no mercy. Apisolome Dokar, FBC News.
The solo host of the world's first trilingual educational program is proud to have learnt and now teach the Hindi and Itauke languages. Nemani Bainivalu, who currently reads the Hindi newsbreak on FBCTV, says he hopes viewers from all communities in the country benefit from his new program that aims to improve cross-cultural relationships in the new Fiji. Vosita Kote Wasawasa reports.
Nemani Bainivalu's love for the Hindi language began in his early years at primary school.
I was fascinated by the characters of the Hindi language and fascinated with the pronunciation. I was fascinated with the culture. And so I wanted to know more about the language.
Banivalu's formal education in Hindi and his Itoke background put him in a unique situation to not only be Fiji's first Itoke Hindi newsreader, but also got him the important job of subtitling all vernacular shows on FBCTV. Now in another FBCTV first, in fact a world first, Banivalu will from next week host Wastea Basha, or Sharing Language, an educational language show that will have him teach children and adults alike on how to converse in everyday Itoke and Fiji Hindi.
Once you know a person's language, these characteristics, these thoughts come into your mind, and this knowledge comes into you, and so you change, your attitude changes.
The bit in the Constitution that makes it compulsory for primary school students to learn basic conversational Itoke and Fiji Hindi was a submission that was made by FBC staff. And that is why we feel an affiliation with this. We're very proud of this, and we obviously want to do the best.
Wastea Basha will broadcast every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. for children and at 4 p.m. on Sundays for adults. Meanwhile, FBC also launched 3 other local shows today: music show Today FM Daily Hit List, Fiji's first fashion show Chechemon, and FBC TV's very own daily children's show Just Kids. Wasita Kote Wasa Wasa, FBC News.
Many people queued up at flower shops today to buy Valentine roses and bouquets for their loved ones. Shireen Lata talked to some of the busy florists and to some of the buyers.
It was a boon for many florists around Suva as the demand for flowers peaked with near record sales. Shop owners say many people took advantage of flower and bouquet specials ahead of time. However, some latecomers were desperately making that last-minute dash to buy flowers.
It's been very busy. We've started from 6 o'clock this morning and 5 actually, and we've just tried to action all our orders that's been paid for, and so far so good. And we're still having people calling us and asking if they could order. All over overseas, they're calling from Australia, New Zealand, America, and yes, it's just coming from all over the place.
Some florists even ran out of flowers trying to meet the demand. Meanwhile, for individuals, the day has its own special meaning.
It's a day not only to share with your loved ones, but with your friends. I find it like special, an excuse to get them something that they really wanted.
It reminds me of a very special day for my wife, being together for a couple of years.
While the exact origin of Valentine's Day is lost in myth and legend, around the world the 14th of February remains a day for lovers to show their affection with cards and flowers. Shireen Lata, FBC News.
Friday Night Sports now with Jamie.
Thanks, Jackie. After the break, Fiji Warriors hell-bent on defending the Pacific Rugby Cup and big plans in the pipeline for the IRB 7 series. Details coming up.
Today FM is #1 here in Singapore.
We love Today FM in Lambasa. It rocks!
My favorite station in Nandi is Today FM.
Listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks in Suva.
Lotto kasi they love Today's Kid Music.
I love Today FM because they play all my songs.
We love Today FM at Vuniva Lambasa. Yeah, it rocks!
I love Today FM because it rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Welcome back. First up in sports tonight, there is a real possibility that the world's most popular rugby code could soon be extending the number of tournaments played in the IRB World 7 series. The parent body is not only looking at having a promotion-relegation format, but also at including more IRB member unions in the 7th Circuit. Indra Singh has more.
The series, which started over 10 years ago, keeps on drawing the interest from all over the world.
The process we have of promotion and relegation is good, but I think there's still a disparity between the teams that play in the series and then lower teams.
Our Fiji Sevens reps could be playing in Argentina after a lapse of 10 years, a move designed to grow the abbreviated code in South America.
Yes, we would like to increase to 10, certainly 10 is a minimum. And we'll look to see how we can pair the tournament so it's much more logistically sensible. We would like a tournament in South America, but realistically that's not going to kick in until 2015-16.
Drawing millions around the world to this spectacular code, the IRB remains adamant its future expansion plans are very much in play already.
2014-15 series will be the last year of this current cycle of 5 tournaments. So we're now in the process of going out to all of our member unions to get their interest if they would like to host a tournament.
Sevens rugby is taking the world by storm compared to what it was just over 20 years ago. Its demise in Wellington last weekend could be a wake-up call for the national team, because in the future the task will only get harder. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Warriors side will settle for nothing less than a win in the 2014 Pacific Rugby Cup competition. Officials are putting the 35-member squad through grueling training sessions to prepare for the tournament. So much so that a couple of senior players like Nemani Nangusa and Waiselu Veniali had to sit out. But they should be back to fitness by next week.
Fiji has to go and defend the cup this year, and they won it last year. Got to go and defend it, and we've got management to try and ensure that they do their best in the tour.
The side will take a break from camp over the weekend and continue its preparations on Monday. Its first game will be against Reds A on the 2nd of March in Brisbane, Australia. And to the delight of motorheads in the country, Fiji's first legal drag race for the year is set to take off next week. The Fiji Car Club is checking under the hood to ensure all systems are go for the year's first event. Talin Daudakadaka has more.
Local car race lovers get a chance to burn some rubber again when the Fiji Car Club hosts its first quarter-mile race event of the year at the Turnover Airstrip at Pacific Harbour next weekend. The club wants to make it enjoyable for both drivers as well as the fans.
Fiji Car Club encourages spectators to come down with their own tents, with their own chairs, umbrellas, with their own food, to come sit down and enjoy the day with family, because Fiji Car Club is trying to get families together and come and watch car racing in Fiji.
Organizers are also finalizing plans to develop an off-road racetrack alongside this Pacific Harbour venue, something that's expected to prove popular with race enthusiasts.
It's going to be a totally different class of racing. People spend a lot of money on quarter-mile drag racing, but whereas off-road tracks to prepare a vehicle, it does not involve that much money. So we're hoping that we will get a lot of cars to come and compete on off-road racing.
Motorheads are revving their engine for the first race event of the year. And if speeding and burning tires also excite you, then you too have to put pedal to the metal. Talin Daudakadaka, FBC Sports.
The Shop and Save Nandi football side will have minimum rest before taking on Lombasa in the Fiji Suns Skipper-Tuna National League tomorrow. The Jet Setters will fly to Lombasa before midday tomorrow before taking on the hosts at 2 p.m. The team is also without 3 key players for the encounter.
Setback to Nandi people. I think so. People will be listening. We have got 3 injuries in the team. All is the midfield, like Munith is out, William Valentine is out, and as you know that Ura is left for Australia. So 3 of our midfield will be missing. So we'll fill in the gaps with the new midfields now.
And you can catch a live commentary of the Nandi versus Lombasa match on our sister station, Radio Fiji 2, with the voice of soccer Raymond Stoddart. And the Auckland Nines Rugby League competition gets underway tomorrow in New Zealand. All NRL teams are hyped about the tournament and as part of their build-up have been meeting the Auckland community. Here's a piece from the NRL on the Gold Coast Titans.
Gold Coast big names Greg Bird, Luke Douglas, Albert Kelly and David Mead were among Titans players treated to a rockstar welcome at a Junior Rugby League visit on Wednesday afternoon. The Hibiscus Coast Raiders in Stanmore Bay putting on an outstanding event for the club during their trip north of Auckland City.
We've got a good reception here today and they're really out and about showing their support for the team, which is good, so yeah, I'm pretty pumped.
Music, hot rods, hip-hop dances, junior tag and acrobatic cheerleading performances formed part of the afternoon's entertainment.
I read it in the paper yesterday and brought the kids down.
Brought along my mates from school, and we just found out from my mate's mum.
And what's it been like for you so far?
Awesome. I just got some signatures on my ball from all the Titans, and it's really fun.
But it was the prospect of meeting the players and getting their autographs that saw no shortage of passionate fans turn out at Stanmore Bay Park.
What's been your favourite part of the afternoon so far?
Getting all the signatures from all the different Titans players and playing tag over on the field over there. I got Minicello's there and Albert Kelly's over here. And yeah, that was pretty awesome.
That's it from Sports Tonight. Here's Jackie with business.
Vision Group Limited has added another major portfolio to its consortium. Last night, one of its subsidiaries, Vision Motors Limited, launched the world-famous Chevrolet franchise at its new showroom in Suva. Chanel Sivan reports.
It's this car, the Chevrolet Trailblazer, which Vision Motors hopes will be the new head-turner in the Fiji motor market. Boasting a state-of-the-art showroom at the Kasanji Industrial Subdivision in Vatuanga, Suva. Vision Group has invested $8.4 million in their bid to be the top players in the transport industry. However, the investment does not end here.
Vision is currently considering further investment in the Hilton Resort in two different phases. This would involve investment of at least $40 to $45 million, if not more. Hilton would be the first large five-star property to be substantially owned by local investors. On the completion of Stage 2B, development of Hilton, there will be 455 rooms in this resort.
Vision Group, which comprises of RC Manubai, Challenge Engineering, Kendall Investments and Jacks of Fiji, employs over 3,000 people.
Making us what I believe to be one of the largest employers in this country. Vision Group and shareholder companies collectively will also, no doubt, rank as one of the top most investors in this country.
And now their latest investment, American giants Chevrolet. Vision Motors brings to Fiji French Peugeot, Chevrolet, Hyundai forklifts and Mahindra agricultural tractors. The Fiji government recognizes the consortium's contribution to the economy.
The vision of the Vision Group, if I can use that pun, in fact investing in 2006, but continuing to grow following the events of 5 December 2006, because it shows a certain level of confidence you had in, of course, your own business acumen, but also the country as a whole. And it is, we like to publicly acknowledge you for that.
Last night showcased a successful chapter for the Vision Group. The group starts competing immediately in the SUV, pickup and sedan markets. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
Valentine's Day weather now. So Jen, did you like my cupcakes today?
Oh, I love them, Jackie. Top-notch icing, but the base was just a little too moist. You might want to work on that. But thank you very much. It's the thought that counts. Looking at the map, it wasn't just Cupid who paid us a visit today. We also had showers and thunderstorms, with the north getting the brunt of it. Temperatures were nice and balmy today. Okay, for some of us, it was downright hot. But I'm guessing love was in the air, the reason why most major centers were on 32 degrees. More thunderstorms tomorrow, which is rather disappointing, considering some of us had planned birthday parties over the weekend. But anyway, it can't be helped. At least our marine forecast seems favorable. Northerly winds are at 15 to 20 knots with moderate to rough seas. Last one for the week. Simply put, this is what rain looks like over Lami. I guess that explains the moist cupcakes, Jackie.
Oh, you've got jokes now. Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. The top stories again. Ministerial contact group begins talks in Fiji. Australian Foreign Minister commits to normalising relations. And Bainimarama inspects his last military passing out parade. On to our poll question this week, we're asking, should health checks be made mandatory for PSV drivers? Visit the FBC website to answer. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your stories at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's news for tonight. I'm Rita, joins you from tomorrow with the weekend news. I'll see you again on Monday. Until then, have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Good night.
Gold FM is #1 here in Sigatoka.
Gold FM is our favorite radio station here in Lautoka.
Gold FM is #1 in Nel.
I love listening to Gold FM in Ba.
We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits here in Suva.
Hear about Batu Cola, you immediately think of gold. I'm Josephine Sabi and I love hearing Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.